Right, it is exactly 1 p.m. East African time. Good afternoon and many thanks for entrusting EBN TV. Keep you up to speed. Those making headlines from across our 47 counties and of course across our borders as far as news is concerned. My name is Macharia. Do stay with me for the next couple of minutes even as we unpack what we've got in store for you this particular afternoon as far as news is concerned. Start engaging us on our socials at EBN TV. We are live across our social media platforms that is on Facebook and as well as on YouTube. And you can as well send us your feedback through our SMS line. That is 23059. Now let's get started, shall we? And President William Ruto of Kenya and President Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe today chaired a joint virtual extraordinary summit bringing together leaders of the East African Community and the Southern Africa Development Community, that is SADC, to advance peace efforts in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The summit approved the appointment of former Botswana President Dr. Mogswetsi Eric Masisi to the 5-member panel of facilitators tasked with steering inclusive dialogue in the region. Other members of the panel include former Nigerian President, that is Obasanjo, from former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, former Central African Republic Acting President Catherine Samba Panza, and former Ethiopian President Sahle Work Zedwe. Leaders endorsed the merger of the Nairobi and Luanda peace process in a single African-led mediation framework supported by the African Union.
And permit me, Your Excellencies, to express my very sincere appreciation for the leadership that has been rolled out and the cooperation and collaboration which have enabled us to jointly steer this initiative over the past 8 months. I also extend my gratitude to Your Excellencies, heads of state, for the bold steps taken by the EAC and SADC to join hands with our sister country, the Democratic Republic of Congo, in the journey towards restoring peace in its eastern region. Since our last meeting, I am pleased to report the following developments. On 1st of August 2025 in Nairobi, His Excellency President Mnangagwa and I met with a panel of facilitators to brief them on their mandate, which is to facilitate inclusive dialogue among the various actors in the Eastern DRC conflict, with the aim of addressing its root causes and achieving sustainable peace and development. During that meeting, the joint EAC SADC Secretariat presented a set of enabling documents developed in consultation with the Africa Union Commission. President Mnangagwa and I have agreed to merge the EAC SADC and AU structures into one unified Africa-led initiative in order to enhance coordination and harmonization of the peace processes in the Eastern DRC. I therefore request Your Excellencies to consider the outcome of the joint meeting between the chairperson of SADC and EAC and the panel of facilitators. President Mnangagwa and I are also encouraged by the emerging extra-regional diplomatic momentum and by the key milestones achieved through the Washington and Doha initiatives, which have resulted in structured commitments by the Republic of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Allow me, Your Excellencies, to sincerely commend His Excellency President Paul Kagame of Rwanda and His Excellency President Felix Tshisekedi of the DRC for embracing dialogue and diplomacy in the search for lasting peace in the region. We also commend the leadership of the United States and the State of Qatar for their role in steering these new initiatives. Excellencies, President Mnangagwa and I strongly believe that a sustained, coordinated, Africa-led peace process remains the surest path to a stable and peaceful Eastern DRC and region.
All right, moving on, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is the IEBC, has called on Kenyan youth to turn out in large numbers to register and participate in the 2027 general elections. Speaking to the press, IEBC chairperson Erastus Edang Thakon noted that 40% of registered voters did not cast their ballots in 2022 polls, a figure he said could have significantly influenced leadership outcomes across various positions. Deputy Chairperson Faima Arafat Abdallah encouraged young people to make constructive use of social media platforms to inspire participation and raise awareness ahead of the voter registration exercise. The Commission announced that the official voter registration schedule will be released within the next 2 weeks, urging all eligible youth to be ready to take part in the shaping of the country's future through the ballot.
As IEBC, we have a responsibility to not only manage credible elections, but also to nurture a culture of participation by ensuring every Kenyan is included, informed, and empowered to participate. When I mean empower, we as a commission, led by our chairman, we will move to each and every part of this country and ensure our officers, led by our CEO or the commission secretary, reaches each and every Kenyan so that one can make an informed decision.
We want everybody to count. And with whatever energy Mzee has, please let us reach out to these marginalized groups. The young, actually, you should be, immediately after this forum, you should be the first one to go to some of these remote areas to get these people involved. So this time, let us not leave no one behind. Let us not have some results being declared without certain villages, because they also matter.
All right, moving on, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has emphasized the need for religious leaders to work closely with political leaders to foster peace, unity, and stability in the country. Now, speaking during a meeting of faith leaders, Mudavadi said such collaboration is crucial in promoting harmony and ensuring the country's progress. He urged the clergy to exercise wisdom when guiding their congregations, especially as the nation heads towards 2027 general elections. The religious leaders, led by Malava Interfaith Council Chairperson Bishop Eli Taliti, Reverend Vincent Sanga, and Supreme Council of Kenyan Muslims, that is SUPKEM Women Representative Aisha Jumwa, pledged their commitment to fostering coexistence and moral guidance within communities.
We can only...
Sasa mtu yuko amekuwa katika National Security Council, amekuwa akikaa kwa National Security Council. Hata mimi nakaa huko. Lakini you never brought these things up when you are sitting in the National Security Council. Kwa hivyo mtu mzima kwenda you know, they say you can be a witness, but please, according to the Bible, do not bear false witness. Do not bear false witness. Do not ruin a country because of your selfish objectives.
Now, Migori Governor Ochilo Ayako has praised President William Ruto, describing him as the most friendly president Kenya has ever had during the president's ongoing tour of Migori County. Now, speaking at the event attended by local leaders and residents, Governor Ayako lauded President William Ruto for the country's ongoing developments and noted that the president is approachable, willing to listen to leaders who bring forward their concerns. The governor emphasized that this accessibility has strengthened collaboration between the national and county leadership, allowing issues affecting the county to be addressed more effectively.
Today, our guest of honor is here, His Excellency the President. The people of Migori have been pleading, asking that you be here. I want to report to the people of Migori that the President is the most responsive, the most accountable, and the most friendly President we have ever had in our life. I say so with authority because I had the honor of being in Parliament when Moi was President. I had the privilege of being in Parliament when Kibaki was the President, being in Parliament when Uhuru was the President, and now being a governor when Ruto is the president. Our president responds to our calls. Our president invites us, and we leaders, elected leaders of Migori County, have numerous times sat with him discussing matters that are affecting our people. Thank you for your humility, thank you for your responsiveness, and thank you for your kindness. The people of Migori and Migori County is a county of which is the Jacobian coat of many colors. Migori has gold, Migori has fish, Migori has sugarcane, Migori has grains, Migori has land, has good weather, has coffee, has tea, and it is ready to grow under your stewardship. Kwa hivyo tunafurahia sana vile umetutembelea. We know that when you live here, you will have left your blessings and many things that will be of use to our people. I want to say that nearly all the projects that the leadership here have come to your house, the State House, and requested for are under implementation. Watu wa Rongo mko? Jorongo untie? Miradi za rais mnaziona huko?
Right, from Migori County, we head over to Machakos County matters healthcare, and the county government of Machakos has moved to clarify the circumstances surrounding the ongoing nurses' strike, stressing that the industrial action is part of a nationwide crisis rather than an isolated county matter. Addressing the press at Machakos Level 5 Hospital, County Secretary and Head of Public Service Dr. Muya Ndambuki acknowledged that while inpatient services have been affected, health services in the county have not ground to a halt. Dr. Ndambuki outlined the country's investment in nursing staff over recent years, noting that in 2023, 132 nurses benefited from promotions out of 422 approved health worker advancement. Now in 2024, 57 nurses were recruited, followed by 183 more in 2025, alongside 231 promotions. Recruitment of additional 42 nurses is currently underway.
We had a series of discussions, and especially during the last meeting that we had with the nurses, two issues appeared to dominate the discussion. And issue number one was about failure to implement the new SRC salary structure for 2024. And number two, failure to implement the return to work formula that was signed in 2nd of November 2017. 2nd of November 2017. Now, look here. On all the other issues, we agreed with the union. These two issues appeared to be the elephant in the room, and by the way, even the stances, even from the way the negotiations were going, it was clear that these are people who were intent on proceeding for strike. It was clear they were not for dispute resolution amicably. That one we must also say, because we sat through the negotiations with them, and what was coming out was, at the end of the day, these were people who wanted to do exactly what they have done. Health was devolved, but not completely. Certain aspects, the policy aspects of health, were retained at the national level. So what we received down here were the purely operational aspects in the health sector. That is where we are. Now, sometimes there could be certain directives, certain correspondences from the national government down to the county governments, which have monetary implications, but without the accompanying resources, that becomes an issue. In the year 2023, 422 promotions for health workers were effected. And out of this, 132 benefited the nurses only. In 2024, 57 nurses were recruited, were employed. In 2025, an additional 183 nurses were employed and posted across the county.
All right, moving on, the Civil Society Reference Group, that is the CSRG, has called on the Regulatory Authority for Public Benefit Organizations to suspend all activities following the expiry of its recent approval period on August 8. Now, the move comes after High Court decision declared immediate implementation of certain PBO operations without adherence to legal procedures unconstitutional. Now, the CSRG stated that an appeal submitted to the court of appeal on August 4th has not yet been heard. Now, the organization also plans to present a public participation status report covering 15 counties at the devolution conference in Homa Bay County, highlighting instances where some counties have violated legal procedures. The CSRG leaders urged both the county, or rather the government, and the regulatory authority to respect the court's ruling, seize any unlawful activities, and ensure proper training for county assemblies members on public participation protocols.
And there's a tendency I'll talk about public participation. There's a tendency of changing the venues at the last minute. What's the meaning of public participation? Public participation is for the public to participate in a decision making, unless we change it to private participation, because they usually change the venues at the last minute. What's the reason for changing the venue? Don't you want the public to participate?
We are here today for one simple thing, a simple mission, to protect the civic space. We know very well that the 2010 Constitution guarantees that the civic space be respected and be protected by the government. We understand that PBO Regulatory Authority has been doing activities. We also are aware that there is a court ruling that was delivered on 30th of April declaring the PBO Regulatory Authority illegal.
Zilizoandikwa pale kwa PBO Act, ile act yenyewe, na tungewaomba ya kwamba ni vizuri wakuwe mfano mzuri ya kuonyeshana that sheria lazima ifuatwe, koti lazima ifuatwe. It's an independent body, so it has to be followed.
Right, moving on, Busia Governor Paul Otuoma is under pressure to crack the whip after top officers were linked to 1.4 billion Kenya shillings fraud in misappropriation of county funds. The suspects, who include 3 county executive committee members, a chief officer and 2 directors, were apprehended by detectives from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, that is the EACC, during a coordinated operation. Now, the officers also raided the suspects' home and offices as part of the ongoing investigations. Residents and leaders from the county are demanding immediate action from the governor to restore order within the devolved units.
Viongozi wetu wa county, hasa governor wetu Governor Paul Otuoma, tunataka kumwambia kwamba sisi wananchi wa Busia County tunasikitika sana, kwa sababu tunaona tulimchagua tukampatia nafasi ya kufanyia sisi raia, lakini hawafanyi kazi kwa raia. Juzi tulipoona kwamba watu wa EACC wamekuja kufanya raid na kutafuta kwamba kuna ufisadi, tunauliza, je, governor mwenyewe naye anafanya nini kuhusu serikali yake? Kwa sababu yeye ndiye alichagua hawa ma ECCs ama ma CECs, yeye ndiye alichagua hata hawa ma directors ambao wanasemekana wanafanya ufisadi. Ingi samaki huoza kutokea wapi? Kichwani. So governor pia vile unanyamaza, inamaanisha sisi pia tunaanza kususpect hata wewe pia uko na hii cases ambayo iko ndani. Na usipoamuka na kuanza kusema state maneno, then we are suspecting you are also part of the problem.
Sisi tulimchagua na kura zetu, na kama alijua ya kwamba atatuchagulia cabinet kutufanyia kazi ya kuiba pesa yetu, futa hawa watu. Futa hawa watu, tusikie hata AECC vile imeingilia. Watu hawa wawe nje ya ofisi. Sio ti wako pale, sijui kesi iko kotini, sijui mara wametoka kwa bond, mara sijui ni stories hizo sisi hatutaki. Tunataka tusikie kutoka kwa Otuoma, aide press mwenyewe aseme nimefuta hawa watu wote.
Yes.
Ili a replace na watu wale ambao wako ni integrity ya kutosha kutufanyia kazi watu wa Busia.
Na kuomba kwa unyenyekevu gavana wetu, naomba kwa unyenyekevu, spika wetu, fanya kazi kulingana na vile sisi tunataka ufanye. Na wala si kama wewe unataka kufanya ama wengine wachache ambao wanakuongoza kufanya vile wanataka. Ukifanya vile sisi tunataka, kaunti yetu itapanda na pia itakuwa kama kaunti zingine. Na utakuwa kama viongozi wengine, kama magavana wengine, kama maspika wengine ambao wanaongoza kaunti zao kukuwa nambari 1.
AECC Bishop Oginde, kwa heshima zote tulizo nazo kwako, chukua hatua yako, kuja mwenyewe, wacha hawa watu wadogo wadogo kuja, wewe kuja mwenyewe.
Now, a section of Somali community elders and youth in Isiolo County have condemned the rising insecurity in Isiolo town, where some people have lost their lives and others have been injured. The most recent was an assassination attempt on Somali Council of Elders Secretary General, that is Idil Hassan, as he was heading for evening prayers at Jamia Mosque. Now, led by their chairman, Mzee Abdikadir Sharif Abdullahi, the elders said that in the past few weeks, a youth from the community, Ismail, was killed in what was alleged to be a road accident. However, the dispute is his claim, citing that his body was evidence that he may have been attacked.
Hakika Isiolo iko masukosuko aina tofauti, lakini hii masukosuko hiyo si wa Somali ndio wamelete, wenye kulete ndio wamelete. Mimi hapana sema jina ya mtu na jina ya jamii, lakini hiyo imetuumiza kama sisi wa Somali, na sisi tumeshindwa sababu na kisa ya kuumizwa na kuuawa sisi, na sisi ndio watu wenye amani na wenye kudumisha amani katika Isiolo ni moja yetu.
Ningependa kuishauri serikali yetu hii, the primary responsibility of the government is safety ya mwananchi. My safety is first. Waswahili wanasema ukiona mwenzako amenyoa na wewe utie kichwa yako maji. Sasa hata mimi niko kwa hofu tu. Tuko na hofu kwa sababu huyu mtu maskini ametoka hapa Imana anaenda msikitini, amepigwa risasi. Na ni mtu anaenda kufanya ibada yake ya swala kwenda kumuomba Mwenyezi Mungu. Unaona huyu mtu ni very peaceful person. Na alikuwa anatembea ana amri yuko peke yake. So hii sasa hii unajua hii ni mauaji. Hii ni mauaji ya dhahir. Kwa hiyo mimi ningeomba serikali ichukue hatua yake, kwa sababu this is assassination. Hii ni assassination. Sisi tunahesabu mtu kama huyo ni mtu amekufa, lakini kwa bahati tu anaishi.
Mimi ni chairman upande wa bodaboda operators na kwa upande wa vijana wa Somali. Tumekuwa kwa huzuni katika hii wiki mzima ya kwamba Secretary General wetu Idil Hassan aliweza kuambushiwa pale akiingia msikitini.
Right, now moving on to matters education. Underfunding the teacher shortage have been cited as some major challenges facing early childhood development facilities. Now speaking on behalf of Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba at the launch of a 3-day Foundations for Learning conference at the Aga Khan University Institute for Educational Development, Director of Basic Education Anne Oidera said the ministry is scaling up ECD teacher training and improving infrastructure to ensure equitable access to quality early education. She also thanked development partners for supporting reforms in the sector.
Don't be violent.
A lot of us know that there's 250 million kids who are not in school. How do we reach them? 7 million of them are refugees. An extra complication. Almost 50% kids with disabilities who struggle, so 50% more to access the education that others don't. And of course, we know the girls do not access the same level and caliber of education as their brothers do.
As far as transition is concerned, there are transition points where we may risk some learners, hence the need to ensure smooth transitions between educational levels. The government of Kenya is implementing the 100% transition policy, which is a national priority. And this is aimed at ensuring that there is smooth transition across grades and also levels.
Right now, let's get sporting. Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria hosted a high-level meeting with Football Kenya Federation, that is FKF, President Hussein Mohamed, members of the CHAN Local Organizing Committee, that is the LOC, and Confederation of African Football Officials, led by General Secretary Veron Mosengo Omba and Head of Safety and Security, Dr. Christian Emurua, to review preparations for Sunday's CHAN qualifier between Kenya and Zambia at Kasarani Stadium. Now, the meeting resolved to set up official fan zones at designated locations across Nairobi, giving supporters without much tickets an opportunity to watch the game and future fixtures in safe and well-managed spaces. Now, it was further agreed that security will be tightened both inside and outside Kasarani Stadium to ensure that safety of fans, players and officials during the highly anticipated encounter.
This tournament has united Kenya across the divide, and we are happy. And we have seen how Kenyans have been cheering, supporting our team, and that is an issue that we want to thank all Kenyans. As we thank all Kenyans and also appreciate the support of CAF, it is also notable that we have had a number of gaps. Some of these gaps have led to sanctions to FKF, and I want to say that as government we have taken note and we have assured CAF that we will support FKF to ensure that those gaps are properly covered. And part of them relate to security, and some of them relate to the behavior of our fans. And therefore, as a priority, we have taken a security meeting this morning with the senior ranks in our National Police Service, and we have agreed that we need to put in extra measures to ensure that we secure Kasarani and also Nyayo. So there will be a number of measures that FKF, the local organizing committee, and the security team will be taking. But we have also taken cognizance that there are many fans who may not have the opportunity to come to the stadium, and therefore we have taken measures to create fan zones across Nairobi. We will be creating a fan zone in Jacaranda, where we'll have a big screen. We'll have a big screen in Uhuru Park. We'll have a big screen in which other place? In Dandora. We'll also have another big screen in Utalii area, and also the area adjacent to Kasarani. So we'll have screens in 6 areas of the city. And basically this is a measure to ensure that we provide an opportunity for those who are not able to access the stadium to watch the games in the big screens. And equally in those fan zones, we will make sure that they are secure and safe. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to talk to my dear Kenyans. CHAN is here, but we also need to ensure that we cheer our team. We go to the stadium when we have a ticket.
Right, moving on, the 2024 African Nations Championship, that is CHAN, continues today with 2 crucial Group A matches scheduled in Kenya now at 17 local time. Morocco will face Zambia at Nyayo Stadium, promising an intense clash as both teams aim to strengthen their positions in the group. Now, later in the evening at 20 hours, that is local time, Angola will take on the Democratic Republic of Congo at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, in a match expected to showcase says high-level competition and strategic plan. Fans are eagerly anticipating the fixtures, which are crucial in determining the group standings as the tournament progresses. Authorities have urged spectators to follow all safety protocols and ensure they have valid tickets to avoid disruptions. All right, and now up to speed, those making headlines from across our 47 counties, and of course, in the world of sports. And of course, we shall be bringing you up to speed, or rather, we shall be keeping tabs with these CHAN 2024 matches, and we shall be bringing you real-time news updates as far as the unravel. My name is Macharia. It is exactly 32 minutes past the top of the hour. That's going to wrap up our program here on EBN News at 1. But more news will come your way in a subsequent bulletins later on at 4 p.m. with Rose Mbula, 7 p.m. with Sami Marunga, and 9 p.m. with Cynthia Nanjala. Macharia is my name. Do have yourself a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your viewing, and as always, let's do this again when God says you do.